I don't know what I'm waiting for. Let's get started. Let's get started. Sorry, Whitney, I had to cut you short.
You want to drop down?
I mean, you can hang if you want, because you might want to answer some of the
I always
questions.
want to hang with you. You're my favourite person in the world.
Well, stay. You can stay.
Well, no, I've got to go because I need to go to the doctors about my
Oh,
ear. I hear my heartbeat in my ear. Is that
can
weird?
you got like throbbing in your ear?
I can literally hear my heartbeat.
Guys, is that weird that she can hear the heartbeat in her ears? What does that mean? Can someone Google it? Someone
I
Google it.
already googled it,
What did it say?
and I'm on my deathbed. I don't know. I'll go to the doctors.
Oh, Miss Francis said you've got an infection in your ear, so you're probably getting
Well,
prescribed some
let's hope that's
antibiotics.
all it is, and I get to stay around a little bit longer. But yeah, I'll go in the comments.
You have to stay around a little bit longer because we need
I
you,
know.
Lola.
Well, my life insurance, I've got another 12 years, so
Thank you for popping up, babe, and I hope the doctor's.
you're
What
welcome.
time's your appointment?
It 10 to 10 to
Oh, okay.
6.
All right.
Okay, right. Love yous.
Love
Bye.
you, babe. Bye, darling. Right, so tonight, does anyone want to get in the box? Like we're talking about parenting, you can get in the box, be on mute. I've got my usual. I'm going to do my introduction. I've got my usual questions that I want to ask you all, but I just thought it'd be nice to have people in the boxes. People can answer, but just come into the boxes, put yourself on mute, and then we'll just unmute as we'll go through this. All right. Anybody else want to jump up in the boxes? You are more than welcome to. Let me get my little ting and ting up on the screen. Also, before we start, we do have a little goal for the room. It's 20 of those dancing hearts, and I've put a very special song onto the dancing hands, not dancing hearts. So if you can support the room throughout tonight by sending a dancing heart, that would be amazing. And it'd be awesome if we can smash that goal tonight with a little support from everyone. But if you can't afford it, don't stress. Please keep tapping the screen. All right, so we're going to get started. Um, we're going to have a lot of that tonight. Yes! 1 second. Bob, babe, do you want the karaoke machine? All right. Sorry, guys. I should have muted the mic. Um, thanks, Schmello. So, hey, welcome to the party. Big up Jemmy and Jasper and baby Alfie. Come on, baby. Welcome to the coven. Thank you. Miss Francis says, can we do karaoke instead? Uh, I feel really, I'm on edge today. There's just loads going on in the house, moving parts, moving people, and the dog's doing weirdness on the floor now. Um, right, I'm just getting my thing up on the screen. I'm just going to disappear for a minute, and then I'll be back. If you want to get in a box, request a box. We are talking about routines and bedtime, and it is our Thursday parenting live. So I'm going to start with an introduction, and then it's all right, darling. You can go by. It's fine. Don't worry. My daughter's friend was shuffling by in the background. Um, and you can get in the box. You have a chin wag. You can answer in the box, or you can answer in the comments. I will have some questions that I'll throw at you and stuff. So let's get into it. All right. So routines and bedtimes are two things that sound simple, but when it comes to parenting, they can sometimes feel like an endless challenge. From the never ending requests for one more story or I just need to finish watching this video on my phone, to the balancing act of winding down after a busy day. Every family has its own approach. And today, we are here to dive into the highs and lows of bedtime routines and sort of boogie wonderland. Dance, dance. Big up, Jemmy and Jaspy. Thank you so much. Um, And it's not just bedtime routines, but also just some parental routines. I've got some questions about a bit about both. Our goal isn't just about getting kids to bed, it's about creating a routine that brings calm, connection, and consistency into our evenings. And let's explore what works, what doesn't work, routine that brings calm, connection, and consistency into our evenings. And let's explore what works, what doesn't work. The quick fire round. You don't need to give deep answers. The deeper questions are coming. Do you have a set bedtime routine for your children? Hello, it's me. Is anybody here today and typing? Are your fingers working free or not? Nobody's here typing in my comment section. Hello from the lonely side. Oh, is it glitchy? I'll stop singing then.
Stop singing, please. Don't.
Listen, I was in my freestyle era. Leave me alone. It's frozen, but it's fine now.
I mean, to kick off the answers in my head, yes. In reality, no.
Oh, everyone was lagging. That's what it was. Sorry, guys. TikTok is very glitchy at the moment. The question I asked everyone was, do you have a set bedtime routine for your children? Just a yes or a no answer would be great. If it's lagging, go out and come back in, please. That may not work either. Sammy says yes. Jem says yes. Amazing. Anybody else? Yes or no? Do you have a set bedtime routine? Lots of yeses. Victoria says technically yes. All right, we had a lagathon. Well, you lot were lucky enough to not hear me singing, so congratulations. Um, all right, another yes no question for you all. Do you find it challenging to stick to routines on weekends? Yes or no? Drop a yes or no in the chat. Oh, I can smell myself. Hello, Sleepy Rach. Um Home Bargains have started selling dupe Sol de Janeiro. Dupes, we love a dupe. And it smells exactly like, oh my god, I keep sniffing myself all damn just, oh my god, I smell so good. Note for Sammy, yes for glitter, sometimes for Sleepy Rach. Question is, do you find it challenging to stick to routines on the weekends? All right, next question, yes or no? Oh. Do you feel that some bedtime routines help your children sleep better? Yes or no? And if you can see the questions coming through, please go on and the mods pin it for me. Do you feel that bedtime routines help your children sleep better? Lots of you are saying yes. And by the way, you guys can request the box if you want to get involved with some of the questions you can answer in the box or you can answer in the comments today. You are more than welcome to request the box. We are only talking about parenting tonight, so don't get in the box if you want to talk about anything else. Um, okay, next yes or no question. Do you usually eat meals together as a family at the same time each day? Yes or no? Again, no shame, no judgment. It's just asking. We're just doing some little quick fire questions before we get into the bigger questions. This is just to see. Warm your fingers up. Get you typing in the comments whilst I see if there's any fleas that we need to evacuate the room. Oh, there's a flea. There's a flea. Oh, there's a lot of no's to that question. Are there certain times of the day? Are there certain times in the day when screen time is off limits in your household? Yes or no? I've dropped that question in the chat and hopefully that will not get eaten. Are there certain times in the day when screen time is off limits in your household? Jem says no. Hannah says yes. Yaya says yes. Zoe says yes. Sleepy Rach, yes. Sammy, yes. Just do the yes no round, guys. That's all we're doing right now. And do you believe that routines help reduce stress for both you and your children? Do you believe that routines help reduce stress for both you and your children? Yes or no answers only, guys. Do you have a specific wake up time for your children, even on weekends? Do you have specific wake up times for your children, even on the weekends? Thank you for the heart me, Danny. Thanks, Sleepy Rach, Naomi. Thank you all. If you haven't sent a heart me today, please could you? Thank you. Um, and okay, next yes or no question. Hey Danny. Um, do you involve your children in deciding parts of the family routine? So, do you involve your children in deciding parts of the family routine? Yes or no? Again, no judgment, just getting help, just wanting you to get involved in answering some simple questions. No judgment from anyone. And do you notice a difference in your child's behavior if they skip their bedtime routine? Yes or no? Do you notice a difference in your child's behavior if they skip their bedtime routine? Lots of yeses coming in. And the final quickfire question for you all with a yes or no answer. Hello, Fave FYP Clips. Hope you're all right. This is just a yes or no question. Are you satisfied with the current routines you have in place for your family? Yes or no in the chat for me, please, darlings. Also, the box is open. If anyone wants to come sit in the boxes and chat through this, you are more than welcome to come and join us today. All right, so let's get into some deeper questions where you can answer more than just yes or no. That was just the icebreaker warm-up round for you all. That last question was, are you satisfied with the current routines you have in place for your family? Yes or no answers, please. And if you miss any questions, I am posting them in the comments. You just need to scroll up. Thanks, Debs, for the dancing hands. Yes, we have new music on the dancing hands, and it is our goal for tonight. If you can help us with the target up there somewhere, and send a dancing hand, that would be amazing. Thank you. And you get a little song. You can have a little shimmy shimmy with me. Maria says, what is sleep? All right, let's start with family routines tonight. We'll start with family routines before we get into bedtime routines. So, my first question for you is, what routines, so think about your own family and your own life, what routines have made the biggest difference in bringing calm or order to your family's day? I'll drop that in the chat. Hopefully. Oh, I think it ate that one. I think it ate that one. Oh no, there it is. Zoe, have you got any routines that have made a big difference in sort of bringing a bit of calm or order into your family's day?
Bath time.
Boogie Wonderland. Thank you, Debs. Love you, Debs. Bath time works for you.
Mm-hmm. particularly when Dylan's getting overstimulated and overexcited, bath time just seems to it's like a reset button in my house.
Oh, that's good.
And everyone just sort of have a bath, pajamas on, calm, like it's like just pressing reset.
Yeah.
The magic.
Nice. Nice. Jem says changing work hours. So you found that there was a bit of calm in your family when you changed your work hours, Jem. Is that what you're saying? Sleepy Rach says bedtime routine after dinner. Logan always has his dinner at the same time, roughly every night. Nice. Nice. All right. Let's just wait and see if you guys are still typing or not. Second question is how do you involve your children in creating or sticking to family routines? Consistency, says C2O, and Jem says yes, husband works days, I work nights. You used to work days, I get you. So next question's coming in. For those of you that did say in the sort of quick fire round, how do you involve your children in creating or sticking to family routines? For those of you that do have sort of family routines, how do you involve your children in that in terms of
I
either
think for me,
go on.
the biggest example I could give was obviously when Arlo was coming along and we was introducing baby number 2. I involved Dylan heavily with deciding like right how we're gonna play this,
Yeah.
what, and not only that but involving him as well. And that did really help. So he now automatically come night time to help, he willingly, without being told, will go and make Arlo's bottle or
Oh,
go
that's
and
nice.
like because he knows that that's just the routine that we're in.
Yeah. Oh, that's really
Because
good.
from day one, I sat him down and was like, right, okay, so we're going. These are all the things we're going to need to do when the baby comes,
Mm.
and I don't want to. And we kind of built it in so that it wasn't affecting Dylan's routine either.
Mm.
But now he wants to take part in Arlo's routine, which makes my job easier, and and then he does his thing.
I love that. I think that's really good. Um, Jem says, I simply ask the eldest two, and then the other two just fit. Hey, Victoria, did you want to contribute in on that question, that last question?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm sort of backing everybody else to be honest. Oh, not now, son. Backing everybody else to be honest in respect of. Go find your toys then. I've got a 6-year age gap between my children, and I gave my daughter at the time, with her being 6, I gave her the option of how she wanted to create her routine.
Okay.
And then I sort of made my son fit into that. But now that she's 9, it's given her the opportunity to change her routine to adjust, but also give her the independence, and then I can focus on my 3-year-old
Yeah.
and sort of have a separate routine for him. And I've gone down that route. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't always work, but we do our best, and it seems to work for our family. And I'm a single parent, so I kind of need her to have her independence
Yeah.
so that I can focus on my 3-year-old too.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Well, I'm glad that's working out for you.
For now.
Thanks, darling. Hey, Maria. Did you want
Hello,
to?
my lovely.
Hello, darling. Did you want to jump in on that question?
No, I've just come to ask you a quick favour.
Oh God.
No, no, it's not that bad,
Oh,
promise.
go on.
Normally, with these parenting lives, I have really great advice, but there's no routine in my house. So I just wondered when you've asked all your questions,
Mm,
if you could maybe ask if at the end if anyone's got any advice for the SEN parents with routine, because I've got 3 SEN kids and to me, routine's just like a swear word. I've tried everything. So I'm just wondering, I know you've got your list of questions,
Oh
but
no,
maybe at the
listen,
end,
you
if you
can
could
ask the
ask
question. Well,
people to
technically,
give
you've
advice.
asked the question now, so people can answer now whilst you're in the box. For any other SEN parents, do you struggle with routines? Do you? Ah, thanks, Fact Freak. Share the live, Fact Freak. Get all your cool friends in here. But
Oh,
yeah,
we
but
love that freak.
we love Fact Freak. But genuinely,
We
like, if
do.
there are any other SEN parents who have advice, please do share it. Or if you want to jump in the box, um, Maria says, sorry, Jem says, you have to adjust, babe. Just keep trying until you find something that works for you. Zoe, did you want to jump in? Hey, Spicy.
Yeah, it's really hard. Obviously, Dylan, uh, I've said it multiple times, Dylan's autistic, and it can be hard because even when he's one of his things is that he's obsessed with routine. So his routine, I don't even have to like push him on it.
Yeah,
Like 7 o'clock, the kid's like that, mummy, it's time for me to have my bath. Like this is my kid. But at the same time, although he will go and have his bath, get his jams on, get into bed, that don't mean that kid's going to sleep. And that's where the battle starts, and that's where it gets hard. You, with Dylan, it's all about trial and error. I've found that if I know he's having an overstimulated day or something negative has happened which has impacted his mood, I try to do sort of energy releasing activities with him and channel his thoughts and his feelings through the activity,
yeah,
which helps him to regulate more so that when he does go to bed, he isn't all still sat up in his emotions, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. It
But it
does.
is purely, as particularly with SEN children, it is trial and error because what works for mine won't work for somebody else's.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And Debs just wrote in the chat as well. She said we're a neurodiverse household, and we have to stick to routine, even if it feels harsh. So, Maria, I would ask you, do you I mean, not how forceful are you, but I guess how strict are you in terms of trying to implement some sort of routine with your kids, or is it just too difficult because they've all got different needs and stuff like that. Where are you sort of in that journey, Maria, with
I
stuff like
think where my struggle is so my youngest is 3 and he needs someone with him constantly. He can't be left alone. And so my second child, she's 9 and she's quite independent now, but when it comes to bedtime, she'll only go to sleep if I'm with her.
Mm,
I've tried a lot of different routines with her. I've tried getting help from the sleep charity. By the way, the sleep charity is online. Sadly, the sleep charity in our area has had its funding cut,
oh,
so we can't get help from them anymore. But just yeah, the sleep charity, check them out online. There's some great advice on their parents if
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Um, so I think it's just hard because of the ages of my children and my youngest son. I'm actually in the middle of doing a sleep diary for him, and he sleeps 3 hours in a 24-hour period. He just
oh
doesn't
wow,
sleep. Um, so it's hard. I
mm,
think because of they have such different needs. I just struggle, and what like every household is different. What works for one family isn't going to work for another. I
yeah,
know that if I didn't allow my daughter to have a TV on for the background noise, she wouldn't sleep.
mm.
Whereas another SEN child needs that off or it'd just be a distraction. It's just a difficult one.
It is. And I don't have a SEN child, so I don't have any sort of personal experience or answers that I can give you. And that's why the chat's so brilliant. You know, they're all putting stuff into the chat, so I don't know if you want to have a read through or scroll
Yeah,
up.
I want to jump down and
Yeah,
have a read through. So
yeah.
sorry, Miss Remi. I'm normally quite
Don't
good with
be
these lives. I normally
sorry.
have great info, but I were late in and I were like, oh my God, Miss Remi's on it tonight. I need some sleep help.
Babe, I wish I could help you more. I just don't know. But no,
You're
don't be
not offering to
sorry.
come babysit for a night then, Remy,
Absolutely
no?
not. You missed the start of this live. I'm about to put mine up for adoption at this rate. Like, I'm over it right now. So I'm not babysitting anyone else's, I tell you. But
Yeah, I tried eBay. Apparently, they don't allow us to sell children anymore.
I know it's very stingy. Vintage not
Anyway,
about it
I'll
either.
jump down and read through these comments.
All right, my darling. Thank you for jumping up. Big loves. Oh, hold on. Zoe's got something for you. Go on.
Oh, wait.
I know you was talking about your 3-year-old and not being able to be left alone. Is that like even when you put him into bed because he'll do
Yes.
unsafe things?
Yes.
Have you looked at, because you can get 1 minute.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, Fact Freak.
Hey, that was almost like a really good setup. Like you're talking about bedtimes, you got kids knocking on doors.
I know. Go on, Zoe. You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Go on, darling.
You can look at there are adaptable bed things that you can get that you can almost turn it into like a safe sort of space for him, if that makes sense. I don't know about costs and whether you can maybe look at getting NHS funding for them, because luckily I've not needed one, but I know that they are out there, and that some people have found that creating sort of this little safe sort of space with some of their favourite toys in and things like that has helped to at least give them a bit of a break from needing to sit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you mean, are they called safe beds?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware. It's just the NHS, isn't it? We're just in a crisis at the minute. The waiting times are horrendous. We have been referred for a safe bed, but I've been warned it could be 2 to 3 years before I get one, unless I've got 10 grand to buy one myself.
Oh, bloody hell.
So
yeah, I tell you what, you could do what CLA does. You could just do a GoFundMe, couldn't you? No.
I'm beggy, but not that beggy.
I used to say that, Maria, right? And honestly, but then Dylan needed a therapy bed, and we couldn't get it on the NHS here. They wouldn't fund it, even though it was going to massively benefit him. And it just so happened that the place that me and my husband worked at, they held a whole fundraiser day for Dylan's bed, and they raised the $4,000 I needed within a day.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Honestly. And I felt it was such a weird feeling, because I didn't want them to do it, but I was told they were doing it. And
Oh,
they did it in a day. So remember, people do love you, and that people will help when you need it.
Yeah, that's amazing. To be fair, it's not something I've ever thought about. I think I just I want to just hold off as much as I can before I want to explore every option first before I ask my family and friends to put in their pocket. I want to see if I can apply for grants and things first. But no, I'm glad you reminded me about that, to be honest, because it's on my to-do list of things to chase up. So, but thank you for the advice. I'm going to jump down because my kids are clout chasing massively, trying to talk to you, Miss Remi, and then I'm not having it.
That's all right, Maria. Big loves to you, darling.
See you later.
Bye, darling. Right, before I go to Fact Freak, I'm just about to drop a goodie bag, because Zoe told me I should start doing goodie bags. If you want to take some coins out of the goodie bag, please can you share the live now, because that's your only requirement. You have to share. Forget Wonderland. Go on, Meg Claire. Do you like the new song, Meg Claire? Thank you, Meg Claire, for the dancing hands gift. And if anybody else can help, we've got 15 more to go. Just saying. Right, I'm about to drop a goodie bag. And in order to get a coin out of the goodie bag, please can you make sure you share this live now. Do not share it to me, and do not share it to my mods. Can you share it like to other parents, please, and thank you. Right, the goodie bag is dropping now. Did it drop somewhere? Because I can't. Oh, there it is. I can see it. Hey, Fact Freak.
Hey, I was trying to do a good thing. I was trying to come back in my bigger account.
Oh, bless you.
Hoping that I would draw some people in. Right, let's talk about chaos fucking bedtimes in the Fact Freak house, right? So, I am Me personally, I have gone through an assessment for the last 3 years for ASD and ADHD. That came off the back of my two children's diagnosis. One child has ASD diagnosis, one has ADHD diagnosis, so it kind of makes sense. And either child, basically, it could be the same as myself, like have the other sort of thing. Now, I suppose our bedtimes are nuts, right? I have a very routine schedule. I panic if my routine is not together, if that makes sense. Now, my youngest, who has ASD, he struggles to get to sleep on a night time. However, he will be up at 6 o'clock every morning, way early than he needs to be, because he's also quite OCD over washing. He'll wash himself with several products several times, etc., right? So he'll be up very early. He will get to school very early because the idea of being late will just drive him insane.
Oh, bless him.
However, if I was to force a routine on him, it just wouldn't work. Like, I will he will be up on a night later than me, but knowing him, I know he'll be sorted in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be out for work at that point. I mean, my kids are teenagers, but I'll be out at work by that point, and I'll be able to check in just to make sure in the morning. But I have faith in his routine. However, he does burn out. After so many days, he'll come in from school and go to sleep till like the next day or whatever. And so I encourage, like, he's got a sleep tent. He's got like a tent that goes over the top of his bed, slips over his mattress, fills it full of all of his sort of stuff there. So he's got like a sort of safe space to get on with that. Now, it just sometimes like forcing things on people doesn't always work, or certain routines. Like my other son with ADHD, he would have, they said that they don't class people like this now, but it would say there's like the hyper side of ADHD, and then there's the other one that they used to call, I can't remember what it is, but basically his mind's very hyper, but not outwardly showing. But he is somebody who will doom scroll, locked into stuff. If I didn't wake him some days, he would sleep all day. Because that's just, it's just the way. Very heavy sleeper, very whatever, It's very hard to sort of kick him into gear. And I am the kind of person who gets up in the morning and I'm ready to go. But I'm also ready for a fucking nap about 11 o'clock.
That's me.
So well, that's it. So like, it's like three very different people working within stuff. Well, me oldest, the one I said sleeps like a brick. Years and years ago, he was only little. The fire alarm went off in the house, and there was a small fire. This years ago, right? So I went to grab him to wake him up. Bear in mind, the fire alarm's going off. No fucking clue what was going on. I picked him up, started carrying him down the stairs or whatever. Got to around the front door, and I could feel him slipping from my arms as I turned round, and I was like, oh shit. I tried to re-grab him, and he had moved sort of like a plank over to one side, and I caught him thinking like, shit, I'm going to drop him. Didn't drop him, still had hold of him. He had no idea what was going on. Absolutely fucking dead to the world.
Really?
But, he's really...
That's like really deep sleep when someone can pick you up and carry you and you don't wake up.
Yeah, well, they were saying that because of the way he is firing all the time, then he will suffer from a crash out and a mental exhaustion more than maybe some other people,
Yeah.
So it's a real mess. All my advice is...
Sorry, Fact Freak, my live is mega annoying.
No. It's all good. I was just saying that like my advice is just see what naturally flows, because that's the way we've ended up. You stress too much about things, and things have to be a certain way, things have to be this, that it becomes more stressful for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Like my youngest, like he will stay up later some nights, but he's also putting himself to bed at a reasonable time and always up early.
Yeah.
I can trust him to do that. You know what I mean? Like, so it just a little bit. It's obviously it must be different with little ones. Do you know what I mean?
Quick question.
And every household is different.
In your house, though, is there any routines, so like around dinner time and stuff? Do you all eat together? I know your sleep is different, but in terms of just having like a household routine, like do you have breakfast together or dinner together, or even on weekends? What's that
We used to when the kids were younger. I let them fly on their own. To be honest, Remi, they get their food, they help themselves. For the most part, the two of them like to eat the same stuff anyway.
Yeah.
That's, it's part of the thing.
Yeah.
So, and they like convenience of stuff. I'm not saying they eat convenient foods. Like, my oldest son texted me earlier on, he's making fucking pasta bolognese. Did I fucking want some and shit like that? But I let them sort of have their own independence.
Yeah.
But also, without getting too deep, like, my children came into my custody because they weren't in the best place.
Okay.
So learning to look after themselves was fundamentally part of their life anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of comes that way.
I get you.
So yeah, I suppose we're all on chaotic schedules that all sort of sync up together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is the thing, like every household is going to be different, and like Maria when she jumped up and hey H, good evening, and talked about having SEN, she's a SEN parent with SEN children, and so yeah, what might seem easily implementable in one household may not be so easily implementable in another household. And it sounds like in your house, Fact Freak, like all of your differences kind of work together in I don't know, in a way that just
I'm a chill motherfucker, right?
But can you boogie? That's the real
No.
question. Oh, that's disappointing.
Definitely not. Although last Saturday, after about 10 pints, I was dancing to Taylor Swift in the middle of the dance floor in Newcastle. Thank God.
Well, the other thing is you've got older kids as well, haven't you? They're not like under 10s or anything, so I guess there's a little bit.
No, I mean well, that's it. My oldest is coming up to like 18.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those. I'm not a secret Swiftie. Everyone fucking knows that, Matt.
We know you're not Swiftie. Yeah, he's not
I'm all for the white girl music, which should bring those, but nobody cares. You know what I mean? I'm just here singing the Chapel Row and no one cares. But anyway, but yeah, like we sort of live in chaos, but also like I don't like to live in stress.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can create your own stress by the pressure of routine, the pressure of doing this, that, and the other, and then everybody has to. Why is this not working for us? Why is it like? Find out what works with the least amount of stress.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, I'm talking about older kids. You're not exactly going to let a 10-year-old set themselves off to sleep at a certain time and stuff. But yeah. But anyway, I've rambled on enough. I'm going to go. If anyone came in here because they were following me, follow Remi. She's awesome.
Thank you, darling. Are you a bus yanker or are you back in the car?
Oh, of course I'm back in the car. I only went on the bus once. I was going to fucking staff night drinks. Do you know what it is? Everyone was so nice. Like, this is how much I get on with everyone at work, and that they were like, really proud of you for coming out because I know you hate people. I know you hate people.
Oh no, the reason I asked, thank you H, the reason I asked was says if you was on the bus, could you just stay in the box because it might bring more people in, but if you're not, don't worry, drop down.
I'm not, unfortunately.
Well, thank you so much.
I'll catch you in a bit. No, that's all good.
Much appreciated. Big love to you, Fact Freak.
Peace, guys. Bye.
Bye, darling.
I just touch on something Fat Freak said really quickly?
Yes, let me just turn my volume up. I had to turn it down because Fat Freaks was noisy. Let me turn you up so I can hear you. Go on, darling. Hello, Fiona.
Fat Freak highlighted a lot of differences between obviously himself and his two sons.
Yeah.
And I think, particularly when we're dealing with SEN children and we're SEN parents ourselves,
Yeah.
we have to sit and remember that, particularly with things like autism and ADHD, people suffer with something called pathological demand avoidance. So
Yeah.
sometimes routine is just not going to work
Yeah.
because I know Dylan has it, luckily not around bedtime routine, but I know that if I start trying to tell Dylan to do something like tidy his room or
Yeah.
whatever it may be, even brushing his teeth, sometimes we can have a battle over because it's something that he has to conform and do. So I think it's important that when we talk about routines, we just highlight the fact that sometimes routine doesn't work and sometimes we just need to let our people be our people.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree with that. Thank you for that, Zoe. Fiona, hello, you jumped up. What did you want to contribute, darling?
Hello, my darling. This is the
Hello.
first time I've ever been in a box.
Welcome.
Thanks.
We like first timers over here.
Yeah, I'm nervous, I'll be honest.
You're all right. You're in safe hands, darling. You're in safe hands.
Thanks. So I just wanted to say that I'm really OCD when it comes to my children's bedtimes. Like I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I'm really strict on when they go to bed. Like my children have just gone up to bed, like now, and we don't eat tea as a family anymore because it just got way too crazy.
Yeah.
I've also got 2 stepchildren who I have like 50% of the time, so they're also 3 and 7, so it can get very mental in this house.
I bet.
But yeah, we don't eat tea at the same time. But I just wanted some outside advice because I've had a recent call into my youngest's nursery about the fact that she still has a dummy at bedtime and still has some milk at bedtime. And I felt very, very judged. And she does only have it at bedtime. But I don't know if anyone else has a child of that age, but she just will not, for love nor money, give it up.
Sorry, that's not going to help your nerves as being a first time in there, but there will be interruptions and I will dance.
No, you're fine.
I'm
You're
so
fine.
sorry, Fiona.
I've been in the room before, so I know what it's like.
Sorry, darling.
No,
Right.
it's fine.
Sorry, go on, continue, babe. Sorry.
But yeah, I just felt very judged, and they called me into the room.
Sorry, Fiona. I'm sorry to be a rude motherfucker. No, I wanted to touch on what you just said about children and dummies and all that sort of stuff. Right now, my oldest son always comforted himself by sucking his thumb and playing with his hair with the other hand, right? It was a soothing motion. Now, I always had a hang-up about it. I was always kind of like, he's going to do that, he's going to get picked on as he gets older, it's going to cause all this bloody issue, da-da-da-da-da. More worried about other people giving him shit, you know?
Yeah.
Luckily, I never had somebody in a schooling situation or anything pointed out because I would have ripped them a new one because they should have been supporting him, to be honest. At the end of the day, I do it, my children do it, and there are a lot of people, you know, on whatever spectrum will do things like this. Self-soothing is very important, and nobody in an education setting should be judging your child or you as a parent because your child has found a way to regulate themselves. I assume when they're using their dummy and stuff, they're settling down for an evening or they're settling down or whatever. It should not be judging you for that because they are self-soothing, they are regulating, they are finding a way to, you know, to do whatever they think they need to do, settle down, whatever. Like, they could just be having a shit time or and wanting to sort of cocoon or do whatever. So anybody in an educational setting that gives you shit about that, I'd go all the way and complain with it because that's absolutely ridiculous. I've had me rant, and I'm going to fuck off again. I swear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fiona. I'm sorry for cutting across, but literally, don't take that shit because that's what it is. It's self-soothing. It's regulation. People do things without realising. I like to be out and about with my headphones. I was called out massively. You know, do you walk around with your headphones sometimes without the music just to dull the world around you? Yes. Well, you're self-soothing.
Yep.
Fuck you. You're right. Do you know what I mean? It's yeah. It is what it is. Right. Okay. Sorry for a rant. Sorry to cut off like a dickhead. Sorry.
Thanks, Factory. God, he's noisy, isn't he? He likes attention, that one. Bloody hell. But he was right, Fiona.
Join in with this one. Would that be okay? Sorry to butt in.
Say that again.
Hello.
Can I just join in on this sort of topic?
Yes, of course you can.
regarding
Go on.
things? I'm
Go
so
ahead.
sorry to butt in. If that was really rude, I do apologise.
That's all right. Fact Freak was rude first, so we're just, you know.
Shout out to Fact Freak. I think my thing is,
Sorry.
I've got my 9-year-old daughter is an incredibly anxious little soul, and she sort of hates herself for it. I think she might be able to hear me, so I'm trying to be a little bit cryptic.
Aww.
But she's got this bear and this blankie, and she has been obsessed with that from day dot. As long as I can remember, it's been bear and blankie. So at night, she will reach, come bedtime, she will reach for bear and blankie. Or if I find that she's had a really overwhelming day, she'll come home and she'll reach for bear and blankie. Now, I also do, and whether I'm right or wrong for doing it, if she wakes up and feels a bit on edge, if there's maybe something that's happening at school, she's got to present something, I don't know anything, I let her take Bear to school on the condition that Bear stays in the bag. Bear doesn't come out of her school bag, but Bear can go in the bag as a comfort. With the mentality, not through her, through myself, I dare the school to tell me otherwise. Like, I dare the school to say that she can't have that comfort in order for her to have a successful day or at night and a successful sleep, because she will become so anxious that she won't go to sleep sometimes. She'll be overriding in her head and going a bit wild. Whereas my son had his dummy till he was 3. And it was only because he got a sickness bug, I can't lie, and he was poorly on his dummy that it put him off for life. He's never touched it since. And I had someone comment at a nursery facility that he'd still got this dummy and that he was incredibly attached to the dummy through the day, everything. And we had a massive disagreement on the fact that I said it's down to my parenting and my child is happy. He's developing, he's cool, he just likes his dummy. And that's the way we're going to keep at it. And they never said another word to me, but it's done is give me the mentality of saying, you know your child, and when your child though is ready to lose their comforts, for want of a better word, they will do it. And you've just got to ride with that. I get that educational facilities will want to be like, oh, well, they're this age, and maybe. No, they've got to follow a book, unfortunately, and not every child is a book. That's how I see it anyway. Like we can't follow a book down to a T because not every child is so different. So just ride it, do what you do like your children do what they do to be happy, and just go with the flow. When they're ready, they will do what they need to do.
And the milk situation, they may never leave. So Dylan's 11 and his dad is 41, and both of them still to this day will not go to sleep without a glass of milk. If I run out of milk, I have to go and get more, because neither of them can sleep without having a glass of milk before bed. And it's their comfort thing, and it's their part of their routine, and that's okay. It's okay for us as humans to, like, I'm sat in my comfort now. I've got my dressing gown on. This is my comfort. This is what I like to do. This is my safe thing. Everybody's different with what their safe things are. So please, 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 Fiona, don't feel judged. They are just following a set box of where children should be at, by a standard that's been invented by people who don't understand individuality, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think I feel more judged because when they pulled me in, it wasn't just me they pulled in. It was quite a few parents, and that they seem to pick up on everything that those parents were doing wrong as well. So I feel like all the parents now know in my head that I'm a bit of a failure, maybe that I haven't taken it away sooner, or obviously I've tried to take it away, but those nights are hellish. Like tonight, she's gone up to bed with a bottle of her dummy and her little blanket, and she's gone straight to sleep. But it just felt like almost an attack on all these parents that are failing their marks, I suppose.
You're never a failure. I'm so sorry to butt in again. You're not failing at all. Please don't ever feel like that is the case, because you can almost bet your bottom dollar, and I stand by it, that you could almost say that these people that work in nurseries, for example, are parents too. So behind closed doors, they're probably doing exactly the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
It's just whilst they're in that setting, they have to conform to what seems like this book, this perfect life that these children have to follow, and their developmental stages and things. They have to do that. But you can guarantee at home, their 3-year-old could still be having some milk. So honestly, just stick to what's right by your children, and in no way are you failing. But I am going to drop down just because my Spider-Man is trying to climb the walls. So
Thank
have a
you,
lovely evening,
Victoria.
everybody. But I will be in the comments. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Victoria. Big loves.
Bye.
Bye, darling. How are you feeling, Fiona? Have you read the chat as well, what people are saying?
I have. It's a bit overwhelming, isn't it? But it's nice to see that it's not just me that kind of picks up on these things that their kids do, and that everyone might feel the same as me, which is quite nice to hear.
Yeah, no, it is. And yeah, you're certainly not alone in feeling the way you're feeling. And you're definitely not a failure. Mrs. BBX says, we are all with you,
thank
Fiona.
you.
That's really sweet. And F the school, the nursery. That's what I say.
Yeah. They've attacked me on a few things that she's done, and I'm just like, she's 3, she's still learning on stuff, and she's happy, like she's perfect in every other way, but it's just these little things that they seem to pick fault in.
Yeah, sucks. It sucks.
It does. Anyway, thank you so much for letting me up, and thank you for the gifts.
Welcome. You're so welcome, Fiona. All right, take care, and thank you for jumping up, and make sure you jump up again.
I will do. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Meg Claire found out that the flute is back. I have shortened the flute, Zoe, before you even say a word. I've cut the flute down to 3 seconds, okay? But the flute is back in the coven. God help us all. Hey, HSEN Mama, how are you? Thank you for that, Meg Claire.
I'm alright, darling, you? Sorry, I sound really loud. I've got kids TV in the background.
You got what on in the background? Sorry, I was dancing because Meg Claire sent me a
Littlest one is watching Big Cut Little Cut, which is her favourite show, so I apologise if it's very loud.
Don't worry.
And I am currently trying to dish tea up, so I will be really quick. Routines for us, because mine are 10 and 9 and both autistic ADHD, and my youngest has got a chromosome disorder. It's a difficult one because certain routines we can stick to, but bedtime is an absolute nightmare. My littlest one is on 2 different sleep medications because she hasn't slept through the night properly since 2018.
Oh, Lordy.
So bedtime for us is literally a case of pray for the best. Some nights are better than others. Some nights she'll go down okay, and other nights we're up till 3 a.m. and I'm pulling my hair out because I'm so tired.
Bloody hell. You mentioned at the beginning that there are some routines. What are some things that do work in your household for you?
Breakfast and dinner are the same every night without fail. Bath time every 2 days because the kids like that routine. My eldest has just been diagnosed as GLP, which is just learning language processing. So he thrives on scripts and routines in language to help him communicate because they're both non-verbal. So it's a case of having to try and stick as much as possible to the routines. Otherwise, he gets very, very stressed.
Oh my goodness. How do you keep routines consistent when life gets busy or hectic?
I just sit in a corner and cry.
Oh, bless you.
It's usually in the morning. Our morning routine is constantly chaos, and by the time they've gone to school, I'm just like rocking back and forth. I'm really stressed, trying to get organised, and it's all falling apart.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
I know, Miss Francis, I feel the same. Miss Francis says, I just want to say, wow, this lady is amazing. Like, yeah.
Oh, I try.
And
It's
Dr. Green
it's
Thumbs has made a recommendation. Dr. Green Thumb says that I work in pediatrics and has suggested trying magnesium spray on her feet. It helps regulate cortisol levels. Have you heard
Oh,
of
I
that?
might give that a try actually, because
Yeah.
literally she
Thank you,
doesn't
Dr.
sleep.
Green.
She just doesn't sleep. She's been underneath the consultants at the local children's hospital since 2019. And they're like, oh, we'll try this with her and we'll try that with her. And I'm like, nothing seems to be working. And I was saying this to my mum before, it gets to a point of that when they finally do settle and they sleep a little bit,
Yeah.
my body is so used to the not sleeping that I'm not falling asleep till 4 a.m. And then having to get up at 7. And this is why in the morning I struggle with the routine. Because I'm like, I'm so tired, but I know I need to get up because taxis come in at 8 o'clock to pick them up. And if I'm not organised on time, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, bless you. So you're just constantly working in a deficit as well. Can you hear me, H?
Sorry, I
That's all
literally
right.
was chucking tea down in front of little people. Otherwise, they won't eat.
You are Wonder Woman, Mum. Do you know that, H?
I try. My God, I'm trying.
Good night, Rach. Sleep well,
Because
darling.
with having these two, it's definitely made me look at myself. And I'm on the pathway to be assessed for ADHD and autism myself.
Yeah.
Because the more I've looked at it as I've been raising them, I'm thinking so much makes sense as to why I struggle. Because I always thought, oh, I'm just not normal. I'm not normal. I don't fit. I'm weird. Everyone else seems to be coping with all the stress. Why can't I cope with it? And then constantly beating myself up. And it's just taking a step back from it and going, taking the pressure off and going, what everyone else is doing works for them. It doesn't work for me and it doesn't work for the kids. And I think as soon as I accepted that we're never going to fit what everyone else is doing and took that pressure off,
Yeah.
it makes life a hell of a lot easier when you're not trying to conform yourself to
Exactly.
what the rest of the world are doing.
Exactly that. Exactly that. You just look, we're all surviving out here and doing the best we can, and trying to fit into any models of what is deemed to be normal or acceptable. Like there's not a one size fits all rule for everyone, and we're all just doing our best with the cards that we've been dealt. So
It was
yeah.
like Fiona was saying about the dummy. Both mine are 10 and 9 and still got dummies for bedtime.
Yeah.
And I remember once being out in public and my son had it because he has really bad anxiety. And someone walked past me and went, oh, he's too old to have that. And I literally went, I'm not being funny. I can take it off him and you can hear him scream. I said, he's got autism. He's anxious. It's comforting him. It's not harming you. It's not harming him. And the woman was dead apologetic. She was like, oh, I'm really, really sorry. And I was like, I understand that if you felt like you had the right to comment, but don't comment on a situation that you don't understand. And this is the problem with professionals. They go in on you and go, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And I'm like, well, that doesn't work for us.
Yep.
It's not working. I've tried all that. We had learned disability cams involved for ages with my youngest about sleep. And we tried everything. We tried delayed bedtime. We tried scripting a routine. And I said to them, I went, this isn't working. She's not, it doesn't matter how late I put bedtime back. She's still awake for hours on end. Or she's going to sleep and then she's waking up and then once she's up, she's up.
Yeah. Nothing worse than those judgmental people that say absolute wanky comments like that. Like, see a child and be like, oh, that child's too old to have a dummy. Like, shut up. Shut up.
It's worse when it's the professionals we had.
That's
Without going
true.
into too much detail, we ended up on child protection because I was really struggling with my mental health. And I remember sitting in that meeting and they ripped me to shreds. They said the kids are the way they are because of you, your mental health. And I thankfully had my mum in my corner to go, no, they're the way they are. Like, my youngest has just been diagnosed with a chromosome disorder, and that shut them up then because they were like, oh. And I'm like, I know I'm not doing the best I should be doing. I am really struggling mentally, but I am turning up every day and I am trying my best. And it is hard when you've got professionals going down your throat going, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And you do feel like a failure, but we're only doing the best we can.
Yeah.
You can't force somebody to do something better than the best they can do.
Yeah. Sorry, just getting Maria up in the box.
All right.
Hey, Maria, did you want to jump in on this?
H,
Yeah.
you're a good mum.
Aw,
You're a good person. I feel really upset listening. It sounds so similar to me. Can I just say, like, all of us parents, we're all just doing our best. And the fact that I see all the same names that come to every single one of Miss Remi's lives where we're doing these parenting talks. Every single person here always joins in, offers advice, asks for advice. That to me screams everybody here are great parents, because a great parent is someone that is doing their best. It's someone who has recently come out of therapy regarding just my self-disbelief, and like I just don't believe in myself, and I thought I weren't a good mum, and I was constantly putting pressure on myself. I realised actually I am a good mum because I try my best, and every single person in here, you're great because you're doing your best, and that's all you can do. Please don't ever doubt yourself, H. You sound amazing. You sound like you're superhuman. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Please don't ever doubt yourself. You are incredible, and I'm so proud of all these people that turn up to every single one of your lives. Remi, you know I think the world of you for holding these lives. I think there's no one else that does what you do, that holds such a safe space where people are free to talk and can be really vulnerable. Yeah, you're all great. I'm jumping back down now because you always make me cry and I'm sick of it.
I'm a bitch, I know. Sorry, Maria.
Terrible. God. Crisis team. Jesus.
But no, you said that beautifully, and I think that message is really important, that at the end of the day, you know, H has got a lot to deal with, you know, when you was just talking about having two kids that are non-verbal and everything else that you've got going on. But the reality is that we're all just doing our best. And so thank you for saying that, because sometimes I sit here and I listen and I don't always know the right way to kind of sum up, you know, something. And so I think you said that beautifully, Maria. So thank you for doing that. Much appreciated, darling.
Before I jump down, I'm going to just say my favourite quote, and I say it to my kids every day. So all three of my children have got ADHD, autism. I've got a child that is completely non-verbal, that needs 24-hour care. And yeah, we are judged all the time, and sometimes we're made to feel that our children have to conform to the way that society is. But I tell my children every day, I wouldn't change you for the world, but I would change the world for you.
Aww.
And I'm going to go now.
Piss off. Making us all upset. Get out of here. How dare you? Thank you, Maria. Yes, I kicked her out the box. I was in my savage era. No, thank you, Maria. Really important. And thank you for coming up and sharing that. Right, I've got a question. I've got a question. I'm moving on, Maria. I've got a question for you all. If you can answer in the chat for me. Hold on, doctor. I'm coming. How do you handle bedtime resistance or a child who struggles to settle at night? And I know this is going to be quite hard for some of you. How do you handle bedtime resistance or a child who struggles to settle down at night? Let's Dr. Green requested the box. Let me get them up.
I'll be honest with this one. Arlo's having a bit of regression, and I'm not dealing with it very well. And I'm shooting myself in the foot, and I know I'm shooting myself in the foot. But because obviously Dylan and Arlo share a room, when Arlo's getting up and kicking off and not going to bed, the easiest thing for me to do is just put him in bed with me. And I know I'm shooting myself in the foot when I do it, but my alternative is to keep battling and have him then disturbing Dylan, who doesn't deal very well with having his sleep disturbed.
Yeah.
It's all and it's that balancing act. And Hannah, don't get me started on the nursery thing. We had to pick him up early today. He doesn't like nursery.
Oh no.
He cried for a whole hour and a half. Wouldn't let anybody near him. So yeah, it's sleep's just not going well right now. And I think part of that is probably to do with the start in nursery.
Yeah. A change in routine.
And that's now what's triggering him not sleeping, which means I'm not sleeping, which means Rory's not sleeping, which means we're all really knackered and we're all really snappy. It's a recipe for disaster right now.
Oh
And that's
man.
my honest opinion.
Oh my goodness. All right, thank you. Anyone else in the chat? So the question was, how do you handle bedtime resistance or a child who struggles to settle down at night? Loz says, I was very lucky to have a child who likes bedtime. Same for me, Loz. My child has always just gone to sleep. I've not had any battles, and I feel very blessed for that as well. Anybody else? Let me scroll down.
I think this is why I'm struggling with Arlo, because Dylan's been so routine, bedtime, sleep, loved it.
Mm.
I'm not used to this
And now you've
behaviour.
got another child that's like,
I don't
ha
know what,
ha! You thought it had it easy.
yeah, don't know what to do with this one.
Oh, bless you. Okay, so another question. How do you wind down yourself after the kids are in bed? And do you have an adult bedtime routine for yourself? I'm going to drop that in the chat. So, chat, you can answer that question as well. How do you wind down yourself after the kids are in bed? And do you have any adult bedtime routines? Oh, don't worry, H. You've got a noisy house. Don't worry, darling. You heard Fact Freak.
Bath,
H
bed.
says wine and books. What did you say, Zoe? Sorry.
Mine's bath, bed.
Do
Well,
you do
it's
you
a
have
bath.
do you have a bath every night?
Yeah, I have about 3 baths a day, Remy.
Oh yeah, you do. Of course you do. Yeah, of course you do.
Bath, mine's bath, smoke, bed.
Maria says as soon as they get sleep, I get what sleep I can. Dr. Green says I suggest the tub or shower before bed. It calms the nervous system down and no screen 1 hour before. Cowboys T says, I love that you guys have children that sleep. Well, H doesn't, and Zoe's struggling with one as well. Cowboys T. Deb says, I'm an insomniac. I have a routine, but then lay awake most of the night. I think that's one of the most evil things, insomnia.
I can attest to that. I've had insomnia since I was pregnant with my first, and it's absolutely horrific.
Mm,
Hi, can I help
awful.
you?
Miss Francis says her bedtime routine is a cup of tea, judge people on TikTok, and then I read my book and go to bed. Oh dear. Jojo Life says my bed is at 10 a.m. when my children goes to school because I can't sleep on a night time. Oh, bless you, Jojo. Right, did somebody just request the box, or was that another accidental? Let me have a little look, see. No, it was an accidental. All right, and what's the time? We'll do one more question. We got a wrap soon. I need to go and round up feral children in my house and take one of them home. What would you say? Okay. Oh, this is a good question. How do you keep bedtime a positive experience even when everyone is feeling tired or stressed? Or are you like me, just lose your shit and then feel guilty about it?
I
So,
definitely lose my shit and feel guilty about it. I'm not gonna lie.
so the question is, how do you keep bedtime a positive experience even when everyone's feeling tired or stressed? Let me know your answers in the chat, guys. I'm lying. I just she goes to bed easy enough. I mean, to be honest, it's more me losing the shit about getting her mobile phone off of her, which I do every evening. Um, that's where we're currently knocking heads. But the actual going to sleep part, like once the phone's out of her hand, she'll just lie down and go to sleep. So there's no issues there. Sleep over downstairs when they were young. Oh, to like make it fun for them, you mean, Meg?
I just keep locking myself in the bathroom for half an hour, having a cry.
Oh, bless you,
And
Zoe.
then I just put Arlo in my bed and think, fuck it, let's go to sleep.
Yeah. And do you know what, right? Because I know people are judgmental and shit about that. And I just think, like, you know what? We just have to do what we got to do to survive, to just get through this. And there are going to be people like, you shouldn't put them in your bed and it's creating bad habits. But sometimes it's just like, do you know what? Fuck off. I just want to sleep. And if it means the child is going to sleep next to me, then, I mean,
Listen,
I co-slept with mine for like 4 years, despite everyone being like, you shouldn't co-sleep. I was like,
when you've got chronic fatigue and
yep,
fibromyalgia
yep.
and your body's hurting and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and there's a child just screaming at you, that baby's being picked up, put in my bed, and he's going straight back to sleep.
Exactly. I call it the boring mum. I cuddle, overtalk, bores my children real fast. I like that. I like that. Uh, except my kid would answer back. I mean, she could talk. I think she could talk before she could walk. So, I think we can have a song, guys. I think we can have a song. Right. Um. Thank you, everyone who's given the dancing hands. We've made 50% of the goal. If anyone can help with a dancing hand, that'd be amazing. But if you can't, don't worry about it. And I will find us a song. Oh, H has dropped some. Why has the sound gone off? God damn it! Thank you, H.
Can you amend the statement to say we hit the goal? Thanks, H.
Did we hit the goal? Fuck! H, big up yourself. Thank you so much. I don't know why the music stopped. That's annoying. Thank you, H.
Complete. It drives me crazy. I don't like incomplete goals. I have to complete them.
Oh my god. Right, Zoe, remind me tomorrow to set the goal to 6,000. And let's make
Don't,
sure.
because I will.
Let's.
I'll
No,
be there.
I'm joking.
I'll be there just like tapping it all up like, I don't have any money, but I'll find some money.
Oh, bless you, H. Thank you. Thank you, darling. You really didn't have to do
Thank
that.
you for letting me come up. I appreciate it.
No, listen. You know the coven loves you, and
It's nice to be loved.
you're fucking amazing. You really are. Hold on. Let me find a song.
Before I drop, I was going to say to Zoe, that sounds a lot like my youngest. It's second child energy, because my first, because there's 16 months between mine, my first was so easy, and I was like, I'm gonna have another one because that'll be easy. They are literally my calm and my chaos.
Yeah.
My youngest, calm as anything, no issues. My youngest, from the minute she wakes up, chooses violence every single day.
Listen, my
And
fucking feral.
I'm like, okay, like, well, I guess we're going with the feral energy today.
Yeah, you'd think he were raised by wolves. He's horrendous.
Honestly, that is my youngest. People go, oh, I remember the dentist going once, oh, your kids are chalk and cheese. I went, I know.
The first one lulls you in with a full sense of security of like, oh, this is okay. Having kids are not too bad. That's why I stopped at one.
This is why I stopped at 2. I was like, after my youngest was born, I was like, no, we're done. We're done now. Ain't no more. This factory's closed.
When I'm locking myself in my bathroom for the second time of the week, I seriously start to question my life choices. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
It's,
sorry for
it's,
you.
Same.
hard work. It is hard work.
I'm a decade into being a parent, and I'm like, what on earth? Like I look at the last 10 years of my life, and I go, this wasn't the plan. Because I got pregnant with my son literally 2 weeks after completing my childcare qualification, and I'm like, sat there thinking, I was meant to be doing this 5 days a week, not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like I've really overshot myself here.
Yeah, no, mine is like, why did I wait 9 years to have another baby? Why am I putting myself through this? It went like this the first time. It had all just ended, and now it's all starting,
And it's worse.
and it's worse. What have I done?
I couldn't do it again. I literally, mine are 9 and 10. I couldn't do it again.
Never. Not me. No
My
way.
my eldest struggles massively with my youngest. Like she absolutely loves him, and he absolutely hates her. She's constantly in his space. She's too noisy because he's noise sensitive. So he's like looks at her sometimes to say, "When's that going back to where it came from?" Like, come on now. She's been here 9 years. Like, isn't it time for her to leave?
Anybody watching this and listening in, take this as a warning. Stop at 1. It's not the same.
We're not really selling the parenting things. Yeah, being a parent's great. If you value not having any personal space or ever sleeping again, brilliant. I definitely a 10 out of 10 recommend to everybody.
Oh, don't. Listen, ladies, thank you so much. We're going to put a song on, then we're going to ride out, and I'm going to go and
Before you do that, Remi, are you going to post the resources for anybody who wants any tips, tricks?
I
Just before you
will.
forget to mention them.
I
Yeah,
sure
because I came in late, so I do apologise.
So we have.
My mother turned up at 5 o'clock, and I was like, "This is so rude. I'm meant to be in Miss Remi's live. Like, please leave."
Oh, bless you. Right, we've got some routines and bedtime resources as well. So I will post this onto my profile. So if you click on the link in my bio, you will find these resources available for support around the topic that we've discussed tonight. Thank you to Zoe for getting that together. We will be live tomorrow at, is it 11 or 12 on a Friday? Do you remember, Zoe? What time do I do? I think it's 11 on a Friday.
Friday.
Huh?
11 on a Friday.
11. I'll be on at 11 tomorrow. And also, if you want to find out when we're going live, there is a pinned schedule on my profile. And also, this live will go up to YouTube. So if you've come in late or you want to rewatch this, then I will post this and I'll pop the resources into the YouTube link as well. And the link is also in my bio.